Yep, alright. Got a few more cameos again this week. There's a couple of birthday ones and a pep talk. There's a birthday one that was alright, there was one of the birthday ones they gave me next to fuck all to go at, and I honestly can't remember what I ended up talking about. But that's a reasonable length for. They gave me 5 words. And there's another one which is just for, well, it's another birthday one. So we got 3 birthday ones actually, but one of them seems quite insulting. And I thought one of them was supposed to be insulting, but it wasn't supposed to be insulting. I just misunderstood the intentions of the person who ordered it. So it might come across as a bit sarcastic, a bit, a weird tone for a birthday message. And they weren't necessarily keen on it, but they were all right with it. I don't think I was rude. I just misinterpreted really what they were after. Completely misinterpreted what they were after. But if you don't know what cameos are, and this is your first time listening to one of these, cameos are a personalised video message, if you like the ones I used to sell from my website, except some clever cunts made an app where it does it all for you, as in it organises it and sends the files, because I used to have to send out the files via what was it called, but using G Drive and that, which has just reminded me I could start getting the downloads from the G Drive of these as well, so that I can pepper some of them in as well. That might be a good idea. So that gives us fucking loads to go at from over the past few years. Some of them might not be as good. Maybe the newer ones are better because I'm more like focused on it, I guess. Less birthday-ish, less specific. But if you enjoy the shows as well, join me Patreon. You can join it for £1, £3. You'll get told when the next Rat Pencil case is coming out. You can also get discount codes for my website for various things, shirts, the merch side of stuff, basically canvases and that. You'll see some of my new stuff. You'll get exclusive podcasts, 2 or 3 a week, varying in length from 5 minutes to 15-20 minutes. What else? The video vlogs as well. Well, all vlogs are video vlogs. But anyway, getting into it, we'll have the first one. For the first one, we're going to go with this brief one here. So this was a birthday request for, obviously, for Tigbity Dave. They told me when the birthday was, which is a very specific detail, which I actually think they've got wrong, and they've used the wrong dating system, because they've either bought this 4 months in advance or 3 months, October, November, 3 months in advance, or 3 days in advance. So it's one or the other, innit? It's not going to be. I'm hoping it's 3 days in advance and they're not going to sit on this for months thinking, I've really got something good here. Because it's going to fucking ruin the surprise. But I presume it's in a few days' time. But all they've given me to go off is what they're doing for their birthday. And it's the 5 words, going out for brunch. So, here you go. There's the first one. Happy birthday, Tigbity Dave. A little message for you from Phil with the gammy elbow. Which, again, it sounds like a nickname, mate, if I'm honest with you. That doesn't sound like a real name. But all they've told me about you is that you're going out for brunch. And I find it very hard to believe that I've got anyone into any of my gear that goes out for brunch. It doesn't seem right to me. I can't imagine any of yous really, maybe yous might go for like 11sies for something like that, in like an ironic sense, being like, it's just an excuse to be in the pub after 10 o'clock before midday to have a beer or something. But it's hard to believe there's people that look at this, like look at these. It's hard to believe that the same people that want to buy photographs of rap men shagging dolls are going out for brunch and taking part in like a civilised society. It just seems fucking weird to me, mate. But everyone's a bit different. I mean, hopefully you're not playing this loud whilst you're having brunch, because I assume everybody else who's having brunch around there is all like old fuddy-duddies and that, like grandmas and stuff. And, well, not grandmas, because they're probably up themselves. So they probably never had kids, because no one would ever want to stay around with them for long enough, in my opinion, Which isn't to say this is true about you. Maybe you're going out for brunch as a bit of a, oh, isn't it nice on my birthday once a year? But the people that go and do it, you know, every week, every other day, once a month, those sorts of people, mate. Boy, you don't want to be falling into that, do you? You don't want to be that sort of, because like if I was to be a woman, and I was like, oh, do you know what you up to this week? She'd be like, well, I'm going for brunch. I'd be like, what? Right, special occasion? No, I'm just going for brunch. She'd be like, right, you're a pisshead. Right, fantastic. I'd also be thinking, why are these people free? Do you know what I mean? It's 10:30 on a Tuesday morning. Why aren't you at work? Do you know what I mean? Have you ever felt that though? Like sometimes when I'm like on the road sort of thing, not like I perform, just when I go out to drive out to go and buy antiques and that and oddities and stuff to attach dead animals to, or even things like this, mate. Like going and getting wooden carvings and that from your website to sell to people. Might stop off at Tesco, and there's a little bit of me when I'm having my little fry up in Tesco, and I'll be thinking, people around here are looking at me thinking I don't have a job. It's a shit feeling. It really is. It's not a nice thought, is it? When you think people might be thinking he doesn't have anything to do with his day. He's sitting in Tesco having a fry up, making memes on his phone like a weirdo. But what I'm actually doing now, Tigbiddy Dave, is I'm working. You know, I'm having a dinner on the fly, so that I can go and get myself some stuff from an auction or from a shop, you know, somewhere, an antique centre maybe. Maybe I'm on the way to Dorset to go to my antique booth, you know, to restock and bring back old stock to replenish the website, you know. Maybe that's what I'm doing. These people don't fucking know.
Tigbiddy Dave.
These people don't know this. They don't know that I'm working. They don't know that I'm making memes to advertise my podcast and my books and me brushes made out of deer legs and me fucking pencil cases made out of rats. They don't know.
Tigbiddy Dave.
They don't got a fucking clue, mate. They're just there judging me, mate, and I don't want that to happen to you, innit? I don't want that to be happening to you. I don't want you to be going out for brunch and that. And these women, they're, you know, that are up themselves being like, ooh, like that, because that's how I imagine they all eat. They're all there with, they've not even got branded mugs, mate. They've not even got World Around You branded mugs. But they're all there drinking with the fucking pinky out. Be like, ooh, ooh. That's them speaking, by the way. They're not just sitting there going, ooh, because that would be terrifying, wouldn't it? You walk into a cafe, everyone in there is just looking like they're having some form of like mild, I don't even think that'd be some form of seizure. They just all had some form of like general psychosis amongst the room. And they're all just going, ooh, ooh, like that. I'd leave, mate. Well, I probably wouldn't actually, to be fair. I'd probably sit amongst them and then give it 5 minutes, and then when they're doing it, I'd do it and all. But not in the sense of like I've been conditioned by them or out, nothing like that.
Tigbiddy Dave.
Just because I'd want to. Because I'd want to feel a part of something. You know, I want to, and I'd want to take the piss out of them as well. Doing it in the wrong key. You know, they're all going, ooh. I'd be going, ooh. And then they're all just like slamming the mugs down and staring at me as if to go, that's not right, mate, do it right or leave. And again, I don't want that to be happening to you.
Tigbiddy Dave.
I don't want you to be going to brunch just because you think you've got to fit in. And if you do feel like you've got to fit in, there's got to be better people to fit in with than brunch goers. Do you know what I mean? I'm hoping maybe you've been dragged along to this.
Tigbiddy Dave.
Maybe
Phil with the gammy elbow.
Is you know, like is
Phil with the gammy elbow, and a pun that would have worked better with the original name given.
Do you know what I mean? And she's like, people go to brunch, we'll go to brunch for your birthday.
Tigbiddy Dave.
Come on,
Tigbiddy Dave.
let's go for brunch. Do you know what I mean? And you're like, alright,
Phil with the gammy elbow.
why not? You know, I wanted to go and play darts, you know, and I wanted to go and fucking, you know, have a look at, you know,
maybe go fishing, get some new fishing tackle. But I'll come to brunch with you.
Fry. Fill with the gammy elbow.
You know, that's what I'll do with you. I'll do that. You know what?
Fill with the gammy elbow.
I'm sick of your brunch. You take me every year. What I wanted to do is I wanted to go and use a computer in a library and abuse strangers on a Twitter account that I make in the library using somebody else's IP address. I wanted to troll people.
Fill with the gammy elbow.
I wanted to leave sexist and racist remarks on celebrities' Twitter pages. That's what I wanted to do for my birthday.
Fill with the gammy elbow.
But no, we've got to go to brunch. We've got to have little sandwiches with half a fucking slice of cucumber in. We've got to have fucking toasted tea cakes. Well, they don't call them toasted tea cakes. They call them a fruit bun. You know, shit like that.
Fill with the gammy elbow.
You don't know me.
Fill with the gammy elbow.
You've never got me. It's always what you want to do.
Fill with the gammy elbow.
Always me. I'm hoping that's what's going on for you.
Tigbity Dave.
I really am. I'm hoping that's what's happening. I hope you're being dragged along. But either way, mate, I hope you have a nice birthday, mate. Happy birthday.
Just seems shit, doesn't it, the idea of going for brunch. I'm not a big fan of going for, say, like, organised meals like that. It's just fucking weird, innit? Like, I get when you go out for a meal with your mates and that, but if you're going out for a meal, you go out for your tea, don't you? You're like, who are these people that meet up for breakfast? I get meeting people, going having a brew with them and that, you know. Maybe you don't like having people around your house, or, you know, you can... You know, it's a good way of keeping people at arm's distance, I suppose. But brunch is just such a weird meal to go for, because it's not even a meal. Brunch is what between breakfast, the food you eat between breakfast and dinner. It's a snack. Brunch is a snack. Brunch is like it always reminds me of them literal brunch bars, you know, the fucking things that's like hamster food dipped in chocolate underneath. And it's bits of oats and grains and stuff, and the odd raisin that you have when you're a kid at school, because your mum puts it in the carrier bag that she's put your packed lunch in. It's like that, mate. It's just one of them, innit? Like Nutri-Grain bar, that's brunch. A banana. You can't have breakfast and then go and sit down and eat like a fucking 3-course brunch of sandwiches, something warm, like maybe a couple slices of bacon and a poached egg, or the bowl of scrambled egg, and then, you know, a slice of cake. Who's capable of eating that much before dinner time? And then you've got dinner coming up round the corner, which, you know, if you're big into food, you've probably agreed to go out for dinner. I can understand going out for dinner more than going out for brunch with people. But realistically, what you want to do is go out for tea. If someone's inviting you out for tea, I think that's like peak inviter-outering, innit? Do you know what I mean? Someone's like, I want to sit and eat my meal with you, my main meal of the day. I want to sit and get all of my calories that I need for the next 12 hours with you. I don't mind watching you chew food, mate. I'm more than happy to sit and chew food and laugh and maybe occasionally accidentally spit a little bit of food out towards each other on the table at each other's face, and we just ignore it or laugh it off because we're such good friends. And maybe we'll have a couple pints as well, or, you know, a couple mixers, or maybe a pint and a chaser. You know, that's what we'll do because we're such good friends. I think the earlier you go in the day, the more likely it is that person's just someone you're like, oh, I'll see him at the beginning of the day, get it out the way. Whereas whoever they're going out for tea with, mate, they're looking forward to that, aren't they, all day? Because you don't want to go and meet someone at the end of your day, because it's just going to put a dampener on your whole day. Whereas you can build away from brunch. You're like, oh, you know, yeah, we had a couple, you know, cheese, ham and fucking egg and watercress fucking deconstructed salad bowls, you know. Didn't even touch the sides, mate. But I'm going out for a curry later with fucking, you know, Ropey Dave, you know, Ropey Gary, you know. He's going to be lovely. He loves a curry. He knows all the best curry houses in town. They all know him and all. He's big as an house. Everyone knows Ropey Gary. Sold them a goat last week. Never found out where he got it from. Going out for tea with him. You don't go for brunch with fucking Ropey Gary, do you? Ropey Gary's got stuff to do. If someone's got time to go for brunch, they've probably not got that much going on. That's what makes me feel bad about going out for fucking breakfast or something with people. Because then I think I could be doing stuff. I can't do stuff in this time. All I'm doing is chatting to you about stuff I've done since I last saw you. What's the fucking point, mate? Anyway, we'll move on to the next one, mate. This next one is a birthday message again. As I said at the beginning, they're all birthday messages. But this one is the one that they weren't massively keen on when they received it, but they warmed to it. You know, I think they took it. I don't think they quite understood what it was they were ordering, to be fair. They expected something completely different to what they asked for, which is bizarre. I thought that was a bit odd. And also I don't think they watched any of the other cameos that were on the Cameo site that are public available to watch as videos or that I've posted online. So that was a bit odd as well with the feedback I got from this. I'm not knocking it, you know, they still paid me and they were happy with it in the end as far as I know, you know. They weren't completely pleased with it, but, you know, I mean, I don't know what you would expect of a guy that regularly releases podcasts of paranoid rantings and ravings and messes about with dead animals for fun. Even messes about with dead animals in order to help himself feel better. That person's not going to have his finger on the cultural pulse. He's not gonna be best adept at handling, you know, subtle social hints hidden in the text. So this one was for a birthday. They were turning 25. They're going to Ibiza with the mates and getting fucked up. And something special about him that they'd like me to know is he's from Droylsden in Manchester. Right, I'm going to read it word for word here because this is where part of the mistake came from, because I just, you know, naturally assume that if someone's doing this, they'd check it over. He's from Droylsden in Manny. He's a DI. If you want to throw in DJ a few times for a laugh, tell him a rat pencil case is in the post to freak him out. Show lots of your animals and make it funny. Funny's written in capital letters. So I misunderstood this because they said he's a DI. I thought that meant he's a copper. I had no idea really why we were calling him then DJ, you know, DJ Tigbiddy Dave. You know, I had no idea if he was a copper or if he was a DJ. So maybe, you know, obviously there's obvious things where we can explore with that, and that's what I did. And I really went out of my way to make it funny in capital letters. But obviously humour's subjective, and what I find funny might not appeal to other people. But anyway, here we go. Actually, another point before we get into it. They also made it quite clear that they didn't want their own name to be mentioned within it. So you probably will only hear this one being about Tigbiddy Dave. Because they were being quite secretive about it, which added another dimension to it, which I didn't quite understand, and I just presumed they were doing it to kind of bully this person, or to take the piss or something, you know, maybe, you know, in a nice way, bully them in a nice way. I don't mean like to be mean, but, you know, I think I misunderstood this one quite a lot, and going off of that little back and forth that we had in messages and stuff, it wasn't what they wanted. But anyway, here you go.
Right,
Tigbiddy Dave.
this is a bit of a weird one, mate, because obviously I don't know you, you don't know me, although you might know me, I'm not sure. I kind of get the feeling with this one, though, that it's this one's being made to annoy you, I think, from how it's written. I don't know. Apparently from Droylsden in Manny, so I'm from South Manchester, so I doubt we would have ever met, even if I still lived up there. This is a glove puppet that I made out of a fox's head, mate. I keep it for like videos like this and for like markets, you know, like when kids are at a market. And not like I'd go to markets where I'm like the punter. I mean, when I'm selling stuff, I don't just approach strangers' children going like that, chasing them around like some form of demented Pied Piper. But it's, you know, when I'm trying to sell stuff, like if I'm trying to sell these single steppers at an art market and that, I can get the kids' attention by squeaking a fox's head, or dogs' attentions by squeaking the fox's head, which brings over the owner of the dog, or parent, I guess, of the child. But the person that's ordered this video for you wants to remain anonymous, which I find quite suspicious, mate. That's pretty weird, that. And I'm going to read you. I don't normally just flat out read at the beginning what they've asked me to say and what they've told me, but what they've told me is he's from Droylsden in Manny. He's a DI if you want to throw in DJ Tigbiddy Dave or David a few times for a laugh. Right, so I'm guessing they mean DJ, because I've read this a couple of times, but now that I'm actually saying it out loud, this would make fucking no sense at all, mate, if you were a copper. Unless you're an undercover copper, and that's why they're saying you're a DI. Throw in DJ TBD, because that's like your pseudonym, you're just pretending to be a DJ. So like when you're actually like there on the decks like that, fucking trying to, you know, well, I imagine you're just fucking pressing a button, you know, do you know what I mean? But let's imagine you've got, you know, 2 turntables on the go, and when you're actually going like that, what you're actually doing is speaking into a wire, because they couldn't put it on your chest because the bass would fuck up what's coming out of it, so they've had to put it on there. So they're just speaking into it, going, yeah, there's 5 lads in here selling Mandy, like that, and but then every now and then you get it wrong, innit? And you accidentally like turn the volume down and turn your mic up when you're just like trying to look busy, and you're like, yeah, that lad's just followed her into the bathroom there. Like that, that'd be fucking mint though, wouldn't it? Because everyone would be looking at the bathroom and like, you're swinging, mate, just staring at the bathroom, thinking, oh, they're either getting their end away or she's in for, you know, the worst night of her life, potentially. Not really the time to be making such jokes. Apparently this is for your birthday, mate. So, happy birthday. There is a rat pencil case on its way to you, according to the purchaser of this video. So there's the inside of the rat pencil case. If I had a pencil, I'd sharpen in the morning. Yeah. So you can sharpen pencils in these rats' arseholes, mate. They're very special rats. And you clean it off by like rubbing the tip around the edge and not make sure there's no dust there. Keep it in good condition, you know, keep it in good nick. Best for little pencils, mate. But they're not right. So carrying on with what they've requested, once this train's gone past and fucking interrupted us yet again. The trains are constantly, man, going past, and there's no... people, you don't need to hear it, but the trains don't stop at the station nearby, so it is just there to rile me up, I think. And it says, show lots of your animals and make it funny, in capital letters. So, but the idea that they want me to throw in the name
DJ Tigbiddy Dave
for a laugh makes me think that they either don't really know what, like, funny is, or, like, their sense of humour is so far removed from my own that this is just going to seem very strange to both you and to them. But, you know, I'll stick to what they've asked. Yeah, this is one of my birds in the beaks, mate. So, you know, you won't be, not the sort of beak that you're going to be seeing in Ibiza, I wouldn't have thought. Because I can't imagine there's that much wildlife left there with all the people that are there. But it's a baby chicken's beak attached to a little ceramic bird, mate. The idea behind it is that, you know, like people say, oh, we need to have a chat about the birds and the bees. Well, this is more so like the idea that when someone sees this, they're like, we have to have a chat about the bird and the beak. You know, because they're going to be like, that's fucking weird, mate, why have you got that in your house? But if you're not into beaks, mate, maybe you like ears, mate. You're into Bigfoot. There's Bigfoot with some mouse ears attached to his head. We got a duck lad as well, so you're going on holiday with the lads. It says you're going on holiday with mates, not lads. They haven't said the word lads. I don't want to give away who they are, innit? Because they obviously want this air of mystery about themselves. Obviously, they think a lot of themselves, mate? And anyway, this is a duck lad. So he's got the head of a lad. He's got arms and hands made out of baby chicken feet. And then his body's a duckling, mate. If any of this is taking your fancy and you fancy spending your birthday money with me,
Tigbiddy Dave,
go to my website, like, yeah, look at this. This is brown fingers. This could be you, mate, on holiday. You don't know. You don't know where your night's going to go, do you? Hey? It's called brown fingers because she's got brown fingers. They're made out of rat's legs. This is a little plant she's been growing here, made out of duckling skin, mouse tail, rat mouse ears. Yeah, it's one of my ornaments, mate. Now, something I don't think you're going to be using on your trip to Ibiza is a toilet brush. Mostly because you're probably not going to be eating that much and you're probably going to end up that clogged. Plus, I imagine if you're going to Ibiza, and let's imagine, just for argument's sake, you're only going to drink when you're in Ibiza, right? Even if you're only going to drink, you're not going to be shitting solid. You've got no worry about skiddies, mate. None at all. So you're not going to need a toilet brush, especially one made out of a deer's leg. But, you know, it's nice to know that something exists for when you come home and you're back on solid food again, innit? Maybe you're going to get your endo, while you're there, you know. I imagine you're going to be off your face. So maybe getting your end away is the wrong expression. Maybe you're going to sort of embarrassingly try and thumb it into somebody. But you're going to need to high-five someone, and you might not want to tell your mates because it might have been quite an embarrassing encounter, mate. So you get a little portable high-five machine with made out of a rat's leg. And you just celebrate to yourself with him. Maybe, what do you reckon to them? Look at them. Get your end away with them, wouldn't you, mate? Eh? You'd thumb it in there. It's a chick with a duck, mate. not the type of thing you're going to be seeing in Ibiza, but it's a bit different, isn't it? What do you reckon? They jiggle about, mate. You can give them a jiggle. Maybe this is from maybe this video they want to stay anonymous. Maybe this video is from someone who you might be involved with, you know. And like, I want to show them that I'm thinking of them and constantly remind them that I know that they're going to Ibiza. But they've also asked me to tag you as well, mate. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that, because this isn't the sort of platform, because this is on Cameo, so this isn't the sort of platform where I can tag it. So that might take a couple of days for that to actually happen. If I remember, I'll even do it on your birthday for you. That might be nice, eh? I'll try and remember to do that for you on your birthday, mate. What do you reckon to this? This is Brolly, man. It's one of my ornaments made out of duckling's body and a bit of rat skin. We can go for a little mooch though, mate. I'm kind of hoping that you might be watching this when you're in Ibiza and you might be like, what the fuck is going on here? This is really weird. I don't know this guy. Why does he keep showing me all this weird stuff and not telling me who this is from? It's not from me, mate. I don't know you, innit? What do you reckon to this though? I got this in my pocket for a walk here. I was going to show it you just in there, but give me a second to get it open. Can't get me fucking well hard to do one-handed, this sort of thing. Oh, yeah, mate, it's a fucking pendant, mate, with a bit of rat scrotum inside. That's rat scrotum there. Maybe the person that bought you this video can also buy you one of these and spray a bit of their scent in there for you. So, you know, like when you're about, you can just be like... And the beauty of it is, in Ibiza, no one's going to suspect that, you know, you're sniffing a bit of rat skin. They're all going to be thinking you're just doing what they're doing, so you're in good company for the sort of for a good bit of sniff, aren't you? What have we got? We got Skater Beard, which is a skater. The head's made out of rat skin, baby chicken's beak and duckling, mate. You can look up her dress and all that if you fancy that. What else do we have? We've got what have we got? We've got the Flinger, yeah. Made that out of a beetle's head, bit of rat skin and some duckling parts. One of my amalgamations, mate. I think we'll leave it there, eh? I think that's more than enough for you, mate. Happy birthday, Tigbity Dave. Happy birthday, EJTBD. And, you know, if you're a decent DJ, mate, you try and get yourself a little radio show on Threshold FM. If you're into a bit of drum and bass and that, you know, maybe you could get yourself a little radio show on Threshold FM. It's got to be worth a bash, hasn't it? Get in touch with them, mate. See if you can be like, it was my birthday. I got one of them weird videos off the World Around You. And he said, maybe you've got a slot open for me. Now, they might not, mate. I'm not in charge of stuff like that. But if they'll give me a show on there, 2 shows on there, where I just talk about stuff I'm paranoid about, like aliens and monsters and ghosts and stuff, you know, and I just get to talk for an hour at people that probably aren't even listening, play a couple of tunes, you know. Maybe they want someone who can do like an hour-long set and that, break it up a bit, you know. Anyway, give them a shout, mate, see what happens, maybe, you know. Maybe next year you'll be in Ibiza, you'll be behind the decks. Offer the glory, mate, from Threshold FM. Happy birthday, mate.
Yeah, to be fair, I probably didn't need to go on about the person who'd ordered it so much, but, you know, I think it all added to it. I gave him, you know, I told him you might be able to get a radio show and stuff like that. I tried to make it as much as possible about the guy, obviously. But again, there wasn't that much to go off. There was a lot said without that much actually said, if that makes sense. A lot of words, but not really much said. Same for what I was saying. Proper rambly, wasn't it, that one? Obviously, you know, if you want to hear some more paranoid rants and some of the shows that aren't available as podcasts or on Threshold, you know, you didn't catch them when they were on Threshold, and you're thinking to yourself, I'd like to listen to them. You can find some on my YouTube. You can watch them as videos on Patreon. If you join for £1 a month, you could join for £3 a month on Patreon, get well over 200 bonus podcasts at this point. There's all sorts, mate. But let's move on to the next one, the last one of the week. This one I think I quite enjoyed, thinking back. It seemed, the description seems pretty harsh in it, but they did give me a few things about the person to go off. So it's a birthday is on Tuesday. Please say happy birthday to Tigbity Dave. You can mention her beautiful bulbous eyes, her frog butt, and her crooked pinky finger. You can also say that she has great twerking skills and that her feet are mangled. So, you know, quite a lot to go off. It sets the tone quite nicely. There's no subtlety there, is there? Whereas I think it was quite easy to pick up on subtleties that weren't there in that last one, and I have in a few others, you know. They're not always perfect, innit? And I don't know what I'm going to say before I do them, do you know what I mean? But I do enjoy doing them, and if you want to order one, cameo.com/worldaroundyou, the link's below. Maybe it'll make it into a show, maybe it won't, you know, it depends where it goes, doesn't it? And if it's just you know, fucking happy birthday Tigbity Dave, here's me dead rat, blah blah blah. Oh, and the one that the one before this one as well. When we had a little discussion afterwards, a sort of a debrief, if you like, which is quite unusual for these. Complaint would be another word. A better term for it would be than the complaint. They just wanted me to sing happy birthday to them, which I didn't get at all from the description, which is a shame, because that would have saved me an awful lot of time, to be fair. But I wasn't going to do it anyway, because I don't sing. You know, I might squeak the fox for them, you know, and then say the name at the point in the happy birthday where you'd say the name. I think I've even done that on a couple of these. But anyway, here's the next one for the girl with the mangled feet. Here we go.
Right.
Tigbity Dave. Tigbity David.
We'll go with
Tigbity Dave.
because we've got a bit of a frog reference, so we'll stick with the frog. This is from
Dodgy Sheila.
me, a little birthday message. Apparently it's your birthday today, so happy birthday, mate. You've got the reason why I started with this fox is more than just to get a definite sound thing so the video starts. Because it's got eyes like yours, mate. Look at them, mate. Popping out of its face, mate. Massive bulbous eyes, mate. Don't know what you sound like, but if you sound like that and all, then that's uncanny, innit? Especially if you're ginger and all, mate. But apparently you got a frog butt and all, so I thought I'd get these out. But these frogs don't really have arses to them, so I'm not sure if they're saying that you've got a very smooth arse. You've got a smooth frog-like arse, mate. I've always wondered as well. Do you reckon frogs have vaginas, or do you reckon they just have arses? Is it like a cloaca, like like a chicken? A chicken doesn't have a vagina and an arsehole, does it? I'm pretty sure the boys have penises and arseholes, because otherwise it's just two chickens, like a male and a female chicken, sort of. Don't know what you would call this when you rub two bumholes together. I don't know what you call it. What would you call that? Sphinctering? Sphincter twisting? Bum rubbing? Hole hopping? Hopping hole? It's got to be hole something. It's the whole action. The whole action, maybe, because that's all you're doing. It's just rubbing bumholes together if you're a male chicken and a female. That's very unlikely, isn't it? But I was thinking, you know, frogs, why would they have a vagina? Why would they? Do you know what I mean? It seemed wrong, doesn't it, when you start to think about frogs' vaginas? It doesn't seem right. You'd think to yourself that, yeah, they'll definitely have an arsehole, everything shits. Everything poos. But birds piss, shit and lay eggs all out of the same hole, right? So maybe the frogs lay their eggs out of the same hole as well as what they shit from. And maybe that's why they come in that, like, jelliness rather than a hard shell. Because they've got to, like, fling out and that. Because imagine if a frog was trying to lay a hard-shelled egg in water and that. It'd be hard, wouldn't it, that? Trying to push an egg out. Imagine trying to shit out an egg underwater. Whereas, I imagine if it's, like, covered in jelly, then it's a lot easier to push out, like, 300 of these eggs. Do you know what I mean? Especially underwater. Because it's not like the frog's going to be above water going like that, is it? Just fucking bing, 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 like that, firing them. Unless that is what they do. Maybe they sit on the bank, mate. Maybe they sit on the bank, right? This is the water. My hand here is the water. This is the bank. Maybe they sit like that and go... Maybe it's more of a... like that sort of thing to just fucking fire them around, and that's why they're always at the edge of rivers and at the edge of ponds. Not because the frog sat in that edge, it's because it's trying to fire them from that side, because it can't quite remember when it was a tadpole. It's got an idea that it's used to start its life in water, but it can't quite figure out if it should be in water or in land for egg-wise. Do you know what I mean? You've also got, apparently you've got a crooked pinky finger. A bit like, the fuck was that? Know what that noise was. Bit like this guy, look at that. There you are. I can bend his little pinky finger. So you got a pinky finger like a rat. This rat can do special things with its arse though. This rat can sharpen pencils with its arse, right? But apparently you can do special things with your bum though. Even though it's like a frog's arse. Apparently you've got special twerking skills. You can sort of like bounce your arse up and down like a frog. A little froggy arse, mate. Why frog anyway? Frog makes it sound like this is quite an endearing thing. So obviously,
Dodgy Sheila's.
it's got a,
Dodgy Sheila.
must have a bit of a soft spot for you if he's saying you've got a frog butt. Because he's not like he's saying you've got a toad hole, is it? Like, to say someone's got, she's got a right fucking toad hole, gives the impression that it's like warty and like, like dirty, bumpy. Whereas a frog's green, mate. Smooth, green, friendly. Frogs tend to be, apart from them like poisonous dart frogs, because they seem to just want to harm people and harm things, innit? That's why they're pink and blue and that. Just so that they don't like, people don't eat them. Well, not people. People don't want to really eat them anyway. Imagine, mate, imagine if frogs were just fucking bright yellow and bright red just to keep the French at bay. Because they're like, oh, we heard that the French in World War One all dressed up in flamboyant uniforms to get fucking, to intimidate their enemy. And they just got mowed down with machine guns because, the fucking Germans could see them apparently. And then they started wearing more like darker clothes and camouflage clothes after that. See, a little history lesson for you there as well.
Tigbiddy Dave.
But then imagine if that's what frogs saw. Like, but frogs didn't hear about this thing with the Germans, because why would they? Information travels slowly, don't it, to like amphibians and that, I would presume. And they're like, oh, the French have always dressed quite smartly, quite flamboyantly, the French military's always been like, big plumes and that, and bright colours to intimidate their enemies. The frogs are like, we'll have a bit of that. I'm not gonna breed with these green ones anymore. These sort of like beige coloured, like light brown frogs. I'm just gonna breed with the blue frogs, the yellow frogs. We'll all keep to ourselves, in the woods. And then, through a selective inbreeding, from the frog's point of view, they all became quite poisonous, quite a toxic environment, innit? And that's what it would be like if humans did that. If humans were like, I'm only going to breed with this type of human, this coloured human, this colour of person, then that's going to become quite a toxic atmosphere as well, innit? People aren't going to like that either. What else have we got here? Your feet. Apparently your feet. Well, they've brought her feet and mangled. But I'm guessing you either twerk your toes or your feet are mangled, mate. So you've got a crooked pinky, mangled feet, a frog's arse, and beautiful bulbous eyes, mate. Which makes me think that this is kind of, in essence, in a way, almost describing Pepe the Frog. So I can kind of see where you may have got the nickname, But I think I hope this has been nice for you. I hope you've gotten something out of this. It seems pretty cruel, this one from
Dodgy Sheila.
I feel like we should say something nice to you because it's your birthday. But what have we got? What we're going to show you that might be nice for you? You want to see a prototype? Here's a little prototype. This was a prototype I did, but it don't work. If you look, it just keeps falling over me. It needs a tail or an extra leg. But it's some duckling feet on a little wooden duck with a chicken's beak attached to the wooden duck's face on a piece of crystal, mate. Never came up with a name for it. I actually attached it to the top of an insanity mirror, and then from that birthed the insanity mirrors, which is a little cupboard with duckling skin inside. If you don't know who I am,
Tigbiddy Dave.
it's going to be very strange to you. I've also got this as well. Look at this, mate. It's not frog related, but it's a collection of like pieces of scrotum I've been collecting. Keep showing it off to people at the minute, so I thought you might like to see that as well. But anyway, you fucking little froggy person. Well, froggy girl, innit? Frog girl. Bulbous eyes, a frog butt, a crooked pinky finger. But you're good at twerking. I can't imagine it. See, if you're good at twerking, right, and you've got a frog's arse, you've got I'm imagining the parson's nose of a chicken for an arse, and then you've got, how are you twerking that? You must have really good lower back muscles and upper leg muscles to be able to fucking bop your arse about if there's not much of a cheek there. Unless there's loads of a cheek there, and maybe that's what they're getting at, because they have got quite a fat arse, these little frogs. Maybe
Dodgy Sheilas
saying that you've got a frog arse because he wants to touch it, you know, like when you poke a frog's bum and it'll jump. Maybe he just wants to make you jump. Maybe
Dodgy Sheila
just really wants to touch your bum.
Tigbity Dave. And that's them all for this week. Obviously I'm going to pick the fucking episode name from that last one. Here's a few that, one of these is probably the title, but here's a selection of them. And obviously the one that isn't the title, the one that is the title, obviously. And the ones that aren't the title never made it. Do you reckon frogs have vaginas? Strong contender. Is it like a cloaca? Not sure if people will all know what a cloaca is, so probably not that one. When you rub two bumholes together? Strong contender. Rubbing bumholes together? Probably not. Think about frogs' vaginas? Maybe. Parson's nose of a chicken for an arse. They're all quite good titles, aren't they? Potential titles for the show. But in that one there, we had a bit of philosophy, a sprinkling of history, and a hell of a lot of nature, mate. So maybe you've all learned something from that, because as far as I know, most of what I'm saying is true, or at least I believe the thing about the French and that to be true. Because I'm pretty sure it was. I'm pretty sure they all got gunned down for wearing big fucking feathery hats and that, innit? Dressing like a costume, a fancy dress costume of a pimp. That's what I imagine the French army used to look like, if I'm really honest with you. Possibly. I don't know if that's got anything to do with the pimp costume. I'm not sure. Probably not. But I think that's what was going on back then. And and I want to apologise to you and all for the very first one as well, while I remember, because it happened a couple times in there. I keep fucking fidgeting with the chain that I use to chain my freezer up. And that obviously makes that fucking annoying clanging sound. So I'm going to try and make an effort to not do that as much in the future. Maybe have something in my pockets to twiddle with, mess with something in my pockets. And if you want to see me mess with stuff in my pockets, mate, maybe you'd like me OnlyFans, onlyfans.com/worldaroundyou. If you want to buy any of the stuff I've described, worldaroundyou.com. All the links will be below. Join me Patreon for more podcasts. What else? If you want a Cameo, the Cameo link's underneath as well. Listen to the other shows as well. Share them around in your stories. Leave a rating. Save them if you can to something, if that helps downloads. Say you work in a computer shop, mate, or you've got a spare half hour and you work on an industrial site where there is a computer shop. Sneak in. Go in there. On all the computers, play me podcast on a hidden little window, mate. Leave them playing on a loop in the background. That'll help me out. Get me up the charts and that, mate. Anything helps. I'll fucking see you in a bit, mate. Don't be a dickhead. Listen to the adverts. If you're not going to sign up to the Patreon, that's fair enough. Not everyone's got money. I understand that. I'm not going to beg you for it. But at least play these couple adverts at the end, because that's where I get a couple of pennies. I'll see you next time, mate. See you in a bit.